Okay, we're live streaming. I think we had some technical difficulties earlier, so I don't think the video we did uploaded. So I'll show you what we were working on and some materials that we're using to do watercolor dragons today, and some techniques you can do with watercolor. Marcella's working on drawing her dragon, and I have mine drawn and have started doing some painting. So the paint that Marcella's using is really awesome watercolor paint. I believe it's Richardson brand. I ordered it on Amazon. It's the same sort of paint that I use in my classroom. Usually comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors. And what's nice about these sorts of paints is if they start to get dirty, you can take a paintbrush, water them down. I'll show you on the red. Get them wet. And you can take a paper towel and just wipe them off and clean off fairly well. And you can also, sorry about that, you can also buy refills for this type of paint, and so that kind of saves you some money as well. The paint I am using is a watercolor palette that I found actually at the dollar store for about $3 or $4. And what's nice is it comes with this extra palette here that you can use to mix colors. You also need some cups of water. You need decent paintbrushes. I actually got those at the dollar store as well. The other materials that we have here is a book for inspiration. Room on the Room has a great dragon to look at for inspiration. Of course, other ways you can look up online and get inspiration from movies. And we have some Sharpies, crayons, and some salt. So I'll explain why we have those other materials here to paint with. The paper that we're using is also very thick watercolor paint, or paper, excuse me, and it's really good for holding up to a lot of addition of water. So you want something that's gonna hold up and be good to get wet a lot of times. Of course you can use regular paper, but it's going to be a little bit, it's going to give you a little bit of trouble when you start to go ahead and start painting. Looks like Marcella's done drawing, so she's going to go ahead and start outlining her dragon with a Sharpie. That's going to help it stand out a little bit more when we go ahead and start painting. That's a really nice dragon, Marcella.
Thanks.
She's doing a nice job being very careful with her outlines in the Sharpie. So I'm going to explain some of the watercolor techniques that you can do to create different effects when you go ahead and paint. Of course, you don't have to do any of these techniques, that is up to you, but just some things to help you out. So right here, this is just a solid color of paint, so you get your brush wet, pick up as much paint as you can on your brush and do a solid paint job. That's called a flat wash. When you overlay color over each other, that's called a glazed wash. When you go from dark to light, so you pick up a lot of paint, draw a line with your paint, and then wash out your brush and get pure water on your brush, and then you bring that color down. That's called a graded wash. So you can go from dark to light using that technique. You can do splatter by flicking your paintbrush with paint on it to create sort of a splatter effect. On this one, we put crayon underneath. And crayon usually resists watercolor pretty well, so you can get different effects by layering down crayon and then painting over the top. On this one, we did a flat wash and then sprinkled on salt, and when it completely dries, it makes kind of like a crystallized effect with the salt. And Marcella did her crayon sort of testing out on this side with black. And it didn't show up quite as well. I maybe needed a little bit of extra paint, or maybe press down with my crayon a little bit more when I went ahead and did that. So my dragon turned out kind of cartoony because I was going basically directly from memory. So I tend to have things turn out kind of cartoony when I do that. And I started adding kind of more of like a flat wash at the bottom, started blending with kind of more of a graded wash on the sides, and added some dragon eggs on this side. So we are painting dragons today. Why, Marcella? What was our inspiration?
Because I have an egg that looks like a dragon egg.
And where is that egg? Yeah. And who brought that egg to you yesterday?
Grandma.
Yep. And this egg was made by one of my art friends, Clay Cunningham. He does all sorts of clay projects, and so he makes dragon eggs as well, and it has a bell in it, which is really fun. So that's what inspired us to do dragons today. We were going to make a nest for the egg, but it's very wet and rainy outside today, so we'll save that for another day, right? All right, so we're going to get back to painting. I'm going to see if I can prop up my phone a little bit better here, and we'll show you how we paint our dragons, and then you guys can go ahead and give some watercolor techniques a try. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments and I'll try and respond to you as quickly as I can. I'll focus on Marcella drawing while I fix the phone propping up here. This is what happens when you don't have a tripod. We have one on order, so it should be here in a few days. Go ahead and keep drawing, Marcella. Okay, that should help. If the camera falls over again, I deeply apologize. We'll see how that works for a little bit, so you guys can watch us paint.
I'm struggling.
You're struggling? Why are you struggling?
It's really hard.
What's hard about it? Can you describe that to everybody?
The more you get slower, the more someone goes faster.
What do you mean by that?
I mean by that, it's because people can go by different times as people can go.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm meaning that people are slow and some people are not slow.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm meaning.
Is it easier to go slower when you do the marker part? Or is it easier to go faster?
Slower.
Slower? Why is that?
Because then you can concentrate.
Ah. Do you make less mistakes when you go slower?
Only when you go faster.
Oh. The brushes I tend to like to use the most are these brushes that have the square edge to them, because I can be a little more precise with them, and then they also cover a good amount of space at a time.
Oh
Those are
my
usually my
goodness,
favorites.
it's got the legs.
Oh my goodness. Can't walk around if he doesn't have legs. This is kind of a fun brush. This is a fan brush. I'll show you what this one does. Get it wet and get some color on it. Let's do a color that will show it pretty well. So it makes kind of cool, like, feather effects with it. That one's really fun. Now that I have the camera set up, I can show you one of the more difficult techniques on here, which was the graded wash. So we'll do that down here really quick. I showed it in the first video, and I don't think that video went through properly.
Okay, I'm done. Wait, the eggs.
Okay, so with the graded wash, you get your color soaked up on your brush. You do a line of that. fairly wet, but dark. And then you take pure water and you drag the color down while it's still wet. And it should go from dark to light, and you can always add more color to the top if you
I'm
need
done
to.
with my eggs.
Nice. Are you ready to start painting?
Look at my eggs.
That's awesome. Can you show the camera? That's pretty cute. I like that your dragon looks like he or she is flying through the air. That's pretty cool.
No, it's starting to fly out.
Gotcha.
Because it got out the eggs and now it's flying out the egg. It's flying out the air with an apple.
Oh, nice. All right. Go ahead and start painting, kiddo.
I'm gonna pick this.
Are you going to try the fan brush?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to paint with the fan brush? I'm going to give my dragon an orange belly.
No, I'm gonna have to have a lot of black on this. Because I'll show you something.
Okay.
This is the dragon's breath.
The dragon's breath. The cool thing about dragons is, I mean, they have a general look to them, but for the most part, you can go as creative as you
I have
want.
a good
with it.
idea, Mom.
What's that?
Flick with this too.
Ooh, you're gonna splatter? Nice.
For the dirt.
Oh, you're making dirt on the bottom? That's a good idea.
But I was making this, so now I need the big brush. I'm just gonna use black for this dragon, because
Okay, I would probably go with a smaller brush so you're not getting paint where you don't want it. Because black is gonna cover up spots. And if you get it over a spot you don't want it in, it's hard to fix that. Does that make sense?
no, I have to clean this brush. Okay. This is for the little eggs.
Okay.
The spots
So-
are going. The spots are going to be black, but the eggs going to be purple.
Okay. So you want a small brush for the small areas and a big brush for the big areas. So it's good to have a couple different brushes on hand for when you have to switch areas.
It will be cool if you had a real life dragon in your house.
You think so?
Yeah.
As long as he didn't breathe fire, I'd be okay with that.
Mine's going to be like breathing out fire.
Oh. Are you making a scary dragon or a friendly dragon?
It's going to just blow out a little bit of fire, so it's going to be a friendly dragon.
Okay. I think mine's a friendly dragon.
That's the fire.
You made fire? Nice.
Now I just need to draw in it. With
Alright guys, I think we're going to leave you here. We're going to finish up our paintings and then post a picture of them maybe in about half an hour. We'll put them in the comments section of the video. So thanks for tuning in. We'll do a new art project every day while we are in quarantine. So we'll do all sorts of projects that will be good for different grade levels. You can do this with any grade level. You could do it with high school kids, little kids like Marcella who are 5, even younger, if they have fun painting and drawing. All right, thanks.